What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to the Crypto Catch Up. Of course, your #1 place to catch up on crypto. Now, in today's video, we're going to be catching up on what's happening with Bitcoin because we're starting to see some very bullish things happening, at least in my opinion, that do give us even more conviction to our thesis that Bitcoin is oversold, people are over fearful, and that this is a good time to be accumulating. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, please don't forget, if you do want to check out the Margex link down below, they did just recently announce a $500,000 KASPA airdrop, in which if you do want to sign up to their exchange and start trading, you're going to get access to that airdrop. You don't need to KYC, meaning you don't need to give them any of your personal information. You don't need to use a VPN. You can just sign up, start trading up to 100x leverage on JASMY, Bitcoin, SOLANA, ETH, many more things, and they're going to give you up to $10,000 in rewards when you do sign up with my affiliate link down in the description below. So do go check that out. This is the platform I do all my trading on, and I want to get your opinion on it down there. But looking at the overall market, not a ton going on over the last 24 hours. We're seeing some things jumping up, like SOLANA up 4%, Doge up 2%, Cardano up 6% for the first time ever in the world of, history of the world. But outside of that, not a lot happening in the last 24 hours when it comes to the top 10. But interestingly enough, we're actually seeing a little bit of a decent move outside the top 10, right? We got H&T, WIF, ING, SATS, NEO, EOS, some of these other ones starting to catch some momentum. So this market is just kind of being a little bit weird, right? We got some of the top 10s not looking good. We got some outside the top 10 looking good. Kind of a little popcorn market where just random things are popping up and doing well. But in the grand scheme of things, right, the last week has been rather red, and you can see that even in the top 10 here, all of these still within the red except for, all of them really. I mean, Litecoin's the first one that's not in the red, and that's number 19. So everything number 18 to number 1 looking in the red for the last week, and it's again applicable to what we are seeing here outside of the top 10 as well. So last 7 days been a little bit boring, but it just is what it is. We kind of come to accept that. Now, looking at this thing from more of a fundamental perspective, let's go down Crypto Fear and Greed Index, get a feeling for what it's doing. We're currently sat at a 29. We were sitting a little bit lower than that, I believe like a 25 or 26 over the last few days. So it does seem as if people are getting less fearful of the market, which is interesting because at the end of the day, I just don't understand what people are so scared of. I know I say this a lot, and I don't want to keep, ringing the same bell, but I just think people are just too fearful. Again, I just don't think it makes a ton of sense. So even though we're moving towards neutrality, I still think it's an overreaction and people are overly scared. Maybe you can give me some clarity. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you scared in this market right now? And if so, what are you scared about? I'm just genuinely curious. Now, as a result of all of this fear, we have started to see the RSIs even continue towards some of these lower levels. We are seeing the weekly RSI Heat Map sat at an average RSI of 40.35, and we're sitting at like a 41 or a 42 just a few days ago. So these things are still moving down. Things like ETH and many of our different smaller altcoins pulling this average RSI towards the downside, not only on the weeklies, but on the 24 hours as well. We're seeing this get lower and lower with things like ETH, BNB, and Bitcoin all in the last 24 hours, even CAS. Freaking pulling to the downside. It's just crazy. I just don't understand. I don't understand what people are so worried about and why they're selling off so much. Now, as a result of this, though, we are seeing something very bullish happening. We're seeing something very bullish happening, which is what I want to focus on, and it has to do with our liquidation map. What we can see here is that not only on the daily, but the 7-day and the 30-day, we are now seeing a heavy weightage in the sense that more liquidations will happen if this market moves to the upside than the downside. And we know that this market will typically move in the direction of the most liquidations. And we're seeing it more heavily weighted in the sense that we will see more liquidations to the upside, which could imply that this market may be getting ready to move upwards. Now, the reason this is so bullish is because it happened fast. You guys know, and we've been talking about the fact that on the 30-day and on the dailies for like the last 2 weeks, we were seeing more liquidations that would happen if this market fell than if it pushed to the upside. And so because of that, I was a little bit like, hey, we just be careful, be cautious. We obviously knew that Bitcoin's price was venturing into a liquidity zone, so we might continue to pull back a little bit. And so although we were dollar cost averaging, we were being very slow and very calm about it. But what we're starting to see now is that those liquidations to the downside are drying up. We are starting to see them get complete as we are venturing into this liquidity zone. And so as a result of that, we are starting to see, of course, more liquidations that will happen now if the market rebounds to the upside. Again, not only on the 1 day, not only on the 7-day, but also on the 30-day. This is the short term, mid-term, and the long term. We are seeing more liquidations to the upside. And so as a result of this, I am getting more and more confident with my purchases that I'm actually starting to buy more Bitcoin right now. Not only from this fundamental perspective, does it look like we could get a move to the upside, you can also start to see it transpiring here on Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin's price is venturing into this lower liquidity zone. We are seeing support holding up. We're seeing bullish divergence to the downside. We're seeing an overextension into the bottom side being recovered up well on our Bollinger Bands. All of these things from a technical perspective are pointing in a bullish direction, as well as the fact that that liquidations are pointing upwards as well. And so although it's not a guarantee that it's going to happen immediately, it's a very good sign that we could see Bitcoin and the market itself start trying to recover and maybe bounce towards the $58, $59, $60,000 level sometime soon here. And so because of that, again, I am continuing to dollar cost average. I'm buying a little bit more in each dollar cost average than I was last week, and I do have plans to continue to do so. And so with that said, I just wanted to let you know, look, when you see liquidation shift and get heavily weighted in this degree that fast, it's a good sign. And especially as this market is still in fear, RSIs are oversold, it's a good sign that some type of bounce may come as a result of this overextension. So pay very close attention to it, and I will continue to update you, and we will continue to catch up on crypto every single day. But look, I do have a JASMY video releasing later today with Kate O'Neill, so do stay tuned for that, and I can't wait to catch up with you all next time. Peace out, everybody.